So how we got from Vicha to GIRLSET, I'm generally aware of, but I don't know the specifics about it. At any rate, what I do know is that when I started to see the promotional content for this release, um, all the girls looked uh, like they had gone through, this process of just becoming the next level version of themselves. They didn't just like, it's not that just that they're a couple of years along now. It's that they look like they have been practicing. You know what I mean? Like when you look at the other groups that have been seeing, like the whole time, and you look at Twice and ITZY and some of the other groups that have dropped their releases, like GIRLSET, they looked as healthy, they looked like as in shape, they looked as sort of dialed in. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, oh, they've been working, dude. Like they have. You can see it. You can just see it. Is what I mean. Like when it comes to this type of thing, if they're not working, you just sort of, let's say, like fall out of form, right? And but that would, like, it was quite evident that that was not the case at all. Even from just like a few pictures and stuff, I was like, whoa, dude. They've been practicing, they've been rehearsing, right? That's, I know that they have, and I know they've been on top of everything else too, just from like seeing the photos. So it'll be interesting to see what this group sounds like now in particular, right? Yeah, so here we go.
Said you wanna one-way ticket to my heart. Took this, slow it down, I'll catch the way you flirt. You've been waiting patiently for me to run into your arms, but I need more. I don't need your permission to get it. I do what I want, little miss independent. Damn pretty, you just can't forget it. You keep looking at me, keep looking at me like you wanna spend some money on me, some money on me. I'm like, come on. You keep looking at me, keep looking at me like you wanna spend some money on me, some money on me. I'm like, commas. Make you wanna spend, but ain't no pockets hurt. No pockets hurt. I can get it on my own, so you better put in work. Better put in work. Never play with a girl like me, cause I know what I deserve. I need more. I don't need your permission to get it. I do what I want, little miss independent. Sitting pretty, you just can't forget it. You keep looking at me, keep looking at me like you wanna spend some money on me, some money on me. I'm like, come on. You keep looking at me, keep looking at me like you wanna spend some money on me, some money on me. I'm like, come on. Don't need your diamonds, don't need your pearls, cause I'm that girl that's always gonna put me first. Every time I let you know, or I make sure she's right in front of you. I'm like, come on. Spend some money on me, spend some money on me, spend some money on me, some money on me. I'm like, come on.
Hey, like honestly, you can hear it in the vocals as well. Like they've come a long way, man. Yeah, it's pretty crazy actually. Um, so this group conceptually wanted to depart from, you know, what was set up with Vicha, and perhaps that's understandable, right? Like, I mean, I don't blame them for wanting to do that, and they've gone in quite a different direction, right? They decided to go more with like the Attitude Era, type of vibe, you know. And it's there's you know the song's got a little bit of kitsch to it, right? But that's all right. They sound really cool. The the mix, right? It's interesting. The bass, that sort of bouncy, like intense bass that's going on. That's like very very K-pop sound, right? Like that. This reminds me a lot of like ITZY, and kind of like their early stuff, right? It has that kind of like sort of angular quality to it, like uh, although it's very concise, like the whole thing is very very smooth, right? The entire song. Um, there's some nice vocal licks in there, right? Like Lexi, she sounds really really good now, right? She had a nice little lick at the end of her line. I think it was like maybe second verse, right? But that was really good, man. Kendall was, she's kind of intense, man. Like she has like she's, I don't know. She had this vibe where like from a distance she's all like sweet and kind of like, you know, just pretty, and then when you get close, it gets like real intense. Like when that camera came in and she had like a line, I was like, whoa, dude, she's almost like throwing it through, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, like that's kind of, it's interesting. It's an interesting type of expression. But man, they certainly have like I said, been working. That they've been improving on their bass skills. Um, See, man, it's interesting. It's a little bit of this is an accelerated experience because the last time that I really saw the group or knew them, they had a much more like the tone was not so intense, and there wasn't so much of an edginess to it. You know what I mean? But like I said, conceptually they wanted to go in a different direction, and I mean, yeah, I think it's just that probably is at the foundation of what they were trying to express here. Um, but let's see. So
Said you wanted one way ticket to my heart. Took this slow way down, I'll catch the way you flirt. You've been waiting patiently for me to run into your arms, but I need more.
so it's on more, right? That's it's the same line that Lexi has also. Savannah did a good job there. See, they have developed really healthy higher ranges, right? So I remember back all the way at the start, I think Savannah was not even sure about like the upper end of her vocal range, but she's obviously very comfortable in it now. Um, but it's so we're in four. So this tempo's moving, right? It's another one of these songs that has a little bit of a shorter run time, but that being said, it does set up a nice phrase, especially with the way that split line ends, right? Because you've got it changes right from Camilla. She sort of has the line at the beginning, and then it changes. Savannah comes in and it has the second half of it, and the way it ends on that sort of like a vocal lick there, right? So we have a nice, colorful, interesting melody that is going on over a kind of a relentless, straightforward kind of a bass sound. So it is high energy. Like, this is a very high energy sort of track, right?
I don't need your permission to get it. I do what I want, little miss independent. Damn pretty, you just can't forget it.
See, she's like, it's intense, right? This is weird, right? It's kind of a, It's kind of I mean, I think it's gonna be like a signature thing.
You just can't forget it. You keep looking.
Like it's good. It's good articulation on all the consonant sounds, right? For such a tight, like, shape. In other words, it almost like, honestly, what reminds me of like what ventriloquists can do, right? But it's pretty unique. I think, yeah, Kendall has like a very unique vibe. Like she did from the start. It's interesting, but hold on, I need to go back.
Need more.
Okay, but yeah. And then,
I don't need your permission to get it. I do what I want, little miss independent. Damn pretty, you just can't forget it. You keep looking at me, keep looking at me like you wanna spend some money on me, some money on me. I'm like, how much? You keep looking at me, keep looking at me like you wanna spend some money on me, some money on me. I'm like, how much?
so we go verse into chorus, right? Is it in other words, no pre-chorus section, right? Fairly minimalist mix too. There's some synth parts filling in rhythm sections, but prominently it's like bass and then the vocal melody. Those are the strongest elements in the mix, and that's not bad. I'm not saying that as like a negative thing or whatever. I'm just trying to identify it. You know what I mean? They sound great. They sound incredible.
I can get it on my own, so you better put in work. Never play with a girl like me, cause I know what I deserve. I need more.
So she's got that little lick at the end of the phrase there. It's just an interesting thing about songwriting and then also phrase, right? Like song structure and sort of creating these peaks throughout the song. So, okay, within a minute and 2 seconds, right, we do have 2 peaks written into our song here, and they sound really good, man. They have some incredible tone, especially for how high they're, like some of their vocal range. Kendall had a higher end pitch, but it's quite refined now. Yeah, it definitely has, because it was incredible. From what I remember, it was like very narrow at the start, right? But it's actually quite healthy now.
I don't need your permission to get it. I do what I want, little miss independent. Sitting pretty, you just can't forget it. You keep looking at me, keep looking at me like you
is
wanna.
that? No, that little. Let me see. What is it?
Looking at me.
Is there a pre-chorus? Is
I
that?
do what I want, little miss independent.
Yeah. Okay.
Sitting pretty, you just can't forget it.
That phrase. Okay, so the first time around, yeah, I thought it was interesting because like it kind of
You
didn't.
keep looking at me, keep looking at me like you wanna spend some money on me, some money on me. I'm like, come on.
The pre-chorus is really short, right? Like you get the verse, right? That has it feels like a very even sort of structure to it as far as like the amount of measures, and the pre-chorus comes in like really quickly. Maybe 2 measures. Like it doesn't have as much space, right? Like it's a lot more concise, and then into what I think we would call the actual proper chorus here with this part.
You keep looking at me, keep looking at me like you wanna spend some money on me, some money on me. I'm like, come on. Don't need your diamonds, don't need your pearls, cause I'm that girl that's always gonna put me first.
Wow.
Every time I let you know, or I make sure she's right in front of
The Savannah, she sounds awesome, man. She sounds really good. Like, whoa, she's got like a really strong, powerful voice. Man.
I'm like, come on. Spend some money on me, spend some money on me, spend some money on
There we go.
some money on me. I'm like, come on.
You could call that a bridge. We could call that a short bridge.
I'm like,
Right?
come on.
Interesting song structure. Like, yeah, I think one thing it actually does manage to accomplish quite a bit within about a 2-minute runtime, right? Um, yeah. It's got a great sound. It's got the production quality. Like I said, the bass sound is really awesome. This really comes down to that, like the bass sound to move the progression along, and then the rest of it is honestly the vocal melody. Um, it's very sparse on a lot of the other things. Not a bad thing, especially since it does sound pretty good. Like they're solid. They're very they're quite capable and adept now at this point. Like I said, I had the impression just from some of the pictures, I was like, oh man, they've really been like working, very hard on the performance aspect of it. And so once they do have songs, once they do have tracks to go in and record, right? Because I imagine that this group probably does get a lot of support in terms of songwriting. They like whereas with other groups like with Twice and let's say Stray Kids, they have taken on more of the work as far as like writing stuff and composing stuff and production stuff. But I think that this group, they look for songs that are written that would be good for this group to perform. And this one is a little, honestly, like I said, it's a little kitschy. It does lean into the Western aspect, I think, culturally speaking, right? That the girls would inevitably represent, right? And so that's largely, I think, like the conceptual, what's reflected in the concept, right? And hey, it's fine. You know what I mean? They can do that if they want to. They certainly have the talent. It's high energy too, high energy choreo, and I'm impressed overall by the vocal work. It's really come a long way, and there are, like I said, the song manages to accomplish a lot for such a short runtime, but there's enough in here as a listener to really if you were like watching from the very beginning, right, to be able to listen to it now, I'm like, okay, I hear both the maturity that comes along with time, and then also the development of the performance aspect that comes along with practice and during that time. You know what I mean? So they're working, and that's good to see. And I wonder. To be honest, because like I said, to be honest, I have to go back and sort of catch up on the stuff that happened specifically, although I'm generally aware of it, right, with how we got to this point. But it's interesting. I from the start, I always thought what was interesting was that what JYP did with like the groups is a lot of them. So Twice, right? It's a Korean group, right? Like there's no obviously no Western like members in it. Well, I mean technically Mina, right? But it's really like a true K-pop group, but their name is Twice. It's an English word. Something with Stray Kids, right? Like that's definitely a actual K-pop group, Korean K-pop group, and their group name is in English. And then when JYP was creating a group made out of Westerners, right? Who come from America, which is a place where we predominantly speak English still, right? In the Western world, but the name for the group was actually based off of a Korean word, right? Which I get what he was trying to do with that. I do, right? A lot of people didn't and thought that the name was kind of not a good fit. Um, but if you look at it, what it is an inversion, right? Whereas Isaac, you took like a Korean-based K-pop group and then gave them a name that was an English word. That makes the group more accessible, especially when you're like searching for things, right, on search engines and things like that. Um, and I think that perhaps there was a little bit more of a creative aspect in naming the group V-Cha originally, right? But I think it always felt more intuitive to lean into the Western aspect of it culturally also, right? Like, and I think there was probably more of a majority of people who felt that way from the beginning. And GIRLSET is, I have to go back, like I said, and get get a more comprehensive explanation of everything that happened. But GIRLSET works. You know what I mean? It's not bad. It's a bit more ambiguous, which is interesting. It's not to say that that's unique or whatever, but it is in that sense. It's a little bit more like, they wanted to start over. Like I want to start all the way from the beginning. Like I want to delete my save file and I want to start all the way over. Like I want to see that intro movie again. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, that's cool. It's cool. They're definitely, like I said, they're definitely working. They sound great. They look great. I think, to me, it seems like now they're having fun, and that's where you want to get to, right? Like they really needed to reach that point where they could just work, right? Like they could just go like put in work, and do what you enjoy doing. So that's cool, man. I wish them all the best. They certainly have come a long way, and I think they're gonna. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know what the Ren's gonna be like. I don't know what the arc is gonna be like. But I do feel, I get a sense that they're gonna do some like cool stuff. I think, in the long term run, like looking back on it, people are gonna be like, man, that group right there, like the GIRLSET, they actually like they got in on some pretty cool things like while they were around. So um yeah, I look forward to it. Like I said, wish them success. I hope they're around forever. I would like for them to be around for a very long time. So we'll see what happens. But they did a great job with this. Like I said, you can really tell that they have come quite a long way from the early beginnings. So they've done a wonderful job. Very proud of them for that. So great job with GIRLSET. Commas. Solid group, man. Solid group. They have. I think that they a little bit of direction, a little bit of push, and I think they can really accomplish some cool things, man. I think that they will, as long as everybody is like working together towards that. So